Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics of the day and the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense and just the right amount of sarcasm by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Tuesday, September 20th. I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And you can also find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Please search Money Chat Now and Larry Steinhouse, and then you can follow me there as well. Hey, if you'd like to connect to me personally, you can go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. There you will find my social media connections, my email, and my text message information. That's contactlarry.com. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, everybody hit that like button right now. Just hit the like button. Let me know you like the show. And don't forget to hit the share button. Come on now. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And you can also find Money Chat Now and the Larry Steinhouse Show on Spotify. So please go there and subscribe as well. Hey, you can also comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, join the Money Chat Now fan page on Facebook, because when I'm in Facebook jail, I can't really transmit from my normal page, so I can only transmit to the Money Chat Now page. So please go to the Money Chat Now page, like it there, so you'll never miss a show due to the Facebook censors. All right, today we're going to be discussing the market recap, the Ford supply chain. Oh, we're going to be talking about Newsom and DeSantis feud. I'm so glad he spelled it wrong on there too. I spelled it wrong in my script. He spelled it wrong on the screen. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Beyond Meat and the nose bite, and we're going to be talking about student loan sensibility. But real quick, I want to say hello to a couple of people who have joined us. All right, so far we've got my wife Linda. Thank you, Linda. I love you. We have Mike. We have Tom. We have Dan. We have Deb. We have Jose coming in from YouTube. We have my brother Seth. We have Peter, we have Tommy, and we have Ken the Democrat. All right. So for you guys who don't know why I call him Ken the Democrat, it's because we have a couple of Kens, and this guy definitely described as a Democrat real well, but real nice guy, so pay attention to him. He's funny. All right. Once again, Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. Hey, I want to thank the following people. I noticed a couple of people sharing it, and more sharing it. Please, please, please share it. Hey, Ken the Democrat, do me a favor, share this page. Dan, if you share this page, I really appreciate it. Tommy, share this page, and Peter, share the page. All you have to do, real quickly, is take a look, share the page, whatever. You know how to do it? Let's do it. Hey, Rob is watching for the first time on LinkedIn. And my producer's giving me a note, but I can't read it through the screen, so maybe he'll come in and give it to me. All right. Anyway, don't forget to hit the share. All right, one more time. Let's talk about the recap and the update. Let's talk about what's going on. Yesterday was a bit of a surprise. The morning started out low, and it looked like the investors were cautiously continuing to buy. The Fed meeting does start today. This is a meeting where they deliberate about as much as they should. They basically talk about raising the current interest rate. All I know is they have already made up their minds, so why will it take 2 days to discuss and decide it? It's beyond me. I don't know. Anyway, it's weird. It must be a 2-day bourbon and cigar fest for these Fed governors. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me. 2 days to decide? Really? Who are they fooling? The 10-year Treasury yield topped at 3.51, and it hit the highest level in 11 years. So the last time, by the way, the Treasury yield hit 3.5% for just a second, it was the day the Dow was at its lowest for the year this year. This time, honestly, it was just a blip. Now, this time, the next one is going to be the move over 4%. That will be the next lowest day for the market. Watch for it. It's coming. It's coming soon. We also have housing starts to be announced today. Yesterday, it was reported that builders are lowering their prices in order to get more buyers. I wonder if raising interest rates has anything to do with that. Yep, I conclude they do. Anyway, home builder sentiment fell in September 3 points to 46. It's a really bad number because anything below 50 is considered negative. I think anything below 70 should be considered negative, but anything below 50 is considered pretty negative. Housing is getting ugly. We will again see that the housing starts report that will be released today is going to show that housing is definitely slowing again. We have all the signs of recession brewing strong, and the result will be a disaster for the economy. In more interesting news, vaccine stocks fell on Monday after Biden said during an interview with CBS 60 Minutes on Sunday that the COVID-19 pandemic is done. We're still doing a lot of work on it, he said, but the pandemic is over. I guess Pelosi had already sold the stocks of Moderna and Novavax before Biden went on TV. The vaccine stocks slumped more than 7% each. Pfizer stock dropped 1.3% and BioNTech dropped 8.4%. Yep, the scamdemic that ended as a pandemic over 2 years ago is now finally over because Biden said so. Hey, the political science is correct. Make sure you tell this person still wearing a mask that the leader of the idiots has declared this pandemic over. All in all, it was a pretty good day for stocks. The Dow ended up about 200 points up, and the S&P was up about 26, and the NASDAQ was up about 86. Not really bad. Besides the big losers in the pharma stocks, we also saw Nikola drop about 10%. I looked for news as to why, but I can't find any, at least not yet. I've been selling covered calls in this stock for the last few weeks, but when the stock drops this low, it messes with my strategy. You know, as I've been saying, this week ends the dead zone. That should mean that the stocks will start to move up again. The Fed announcement will be a speed bump. That's kind of like doing 50 miles an hour over it, and then, you get some chassis damage, but a few days later, we'll all return to normal. Early this morning, a news feed came across my desk that Sweden's central bank just announced a 100 basis point rate hike. This is definitely going to scare the market today, but it is what it is. Wall Street's thought will be, hey, if they can raise interest rates 100 basis points, so can we. The futures, by the way, were up this morning until that news flash happened. It was up about 150 points, and then the news flash happened. I mean, I watched the news flash come out, and then I watched the futures drop. All right, let's see where the futures are now. Let's try not to cry because it's going to be ugly. It's not as bad as I thought it could be, but it's down. It's down 90. The Dow is down 90. The S&P is down 15, and the Nasdaq is down 51. I don't know. That to me means that the Wall Street is still thinking about what that means, the 100-point drop means. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the 100-point basis, the 100 basis point increase in Sweden, what that means to us. We're going to find out in a little while what it means. I don't know. As soon as the market opens, we'll know. And, of course, the housing market is going to show that we're dropping again with the new housing starts. So it might be a bad day. It might be a good day. It might be an average day waiting for tomorrow. We'll see. All right, let's talk about Ford. Last year, Ford stock skyrocketed to its highest point in over 20 years, and that's when it was selling for almost $26 a share. I couldn't believe it. The auto world was on fire with the prospects of new and supposedly better vehicles. Most, of course, were electric, but the vehicle manufacturers were doing great. Well, supply chain issues kind of put a stop to that, and the vehicle manufacturers started to slow down. Parts were unavailable, and cars were even delivered missing features that were promised to be added later when the parts were finally built. I know people with cars that they're missing features. They hit the cruise control. It doesn't work. Anyway, Ford warned investors that the company expects to incur an extra $1 billion in costs during the third quarter due to inflation and supply chain issues. Ford said supply problems have resulted in parts shortages affecting roughly 40,000 to 45,000 vehicles, primarily high-margin trucks and SUVs that haven't been able to reach dealers. So if you want to get a Explorer ST like mine, it's probably sitting in a lot somewhere waiting for some parts. The company expects to complete and deliver these vehicles to dealers in the fourth quarter and is still projecting 2022 adjusted earnings before interest and taxes between $11.5 billion and $12.5 billion. It's pretty good that they're not adjusting their earnings. Because of this, shares of the company fell actually overnight about 5% and extended trading following the update. Ford cited recent negotiations resulting in inflation-related supplier costs that will run about $1 billion higher than originally expected. Yeah, $1 billion more in expenses? I don't know. I mean, if they're going to be doing between 11.5 and 12.5 billion, and they got $1 billion higher in expenses, that's pretty bad. All right. Anyway, have you been car shopping lately? I bought a car a few months ago. They marked up the price about $5,000. I don't know if that happened to you. The thought was they had so few cars that they had to make money somehow. I would imagine the car parts supply shortage was very good for the dealers in the past year because they made a lot of money, marking up cars. I would expect that with all the markups in the dealers, they basically raked it in. Ford's earnings are to be announced 1 month from now on the 22nd of October, and I'm going to tell you this is an early warning for investors to be cautious. The stock is trading at about 14, and the range of the stock before the scamdemic was about 11 to 13, so I'm going to guess it's probably going to go back to that range shortly. Ford's largest crosstown rival, General Motors, announced similar issues earlier this year, right? So basically, GM on July 1st warned its investors that supply chain issues would dent its second quarter earnings, noting it had about 95,000 vehicles in inventory that were manufacturers but missing components. GM at the time also reconfirmed that its yearly guidance and said that it expects substantially all of these vehicles will be completed and sold to dealers before the end of 2022. So it looks like the supply chain issues are ending. However, the companies are still hurting from the residual effects. I personally think their problems are coming with the upcoming recession. That's going to be the big problem. All the dealers who cleaned up this year are going to be in for a surprise next year and the year after. Hey, if you were able to hold out buying a car till next year, you might actually find a bargain. All right, let's take a break here. I'll see you guys in about a minute.
Okay, so you thought about buying and selling real estate. You've thought about investing in the stock market, but don't know where to start. Well, what if you could find a place to unlock strategies to master both real estate and the stock market, all without the headache? That place is Investor Schooling, hosted by Larry Steinhouse, an expert in real estate, financial literacy, and the ins and outs of the stock market. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate, and you will learn mastery of stock techniques such as options and covered calls. You will even get a chance to ask one of your burning questions to the stock option sultan, the master of picks and plays. Call 866-424-2829 for free information and receive a complimentary pass to attend classes, or register online at investorschooling.com. Don't delay. These passes are limited. So what are you waiting for? Call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Or visit investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to welcome you back to the show. We're here live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And you can also find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Hey, please search Money Chat Now and Larry Steinhouse on Spotify. Like and subscribe there as well. Hey, also, if you'd like to connect to me personally, go to contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com, and there you will find my social media connections, my email, and my text message information. That's contactlarry.com. Of course, we've been discussing the market recap. Let's see real quick. We got the Dow is down 106. We got the S&P is down 16, and the NASDAQ is down 61. We talked about the Ford supply chain issues, and coming up, we have Newsom versus DeSantis. It's going to be fun. We also have Beyond Meat, Nose Bite, and student loan sensibility. We'll be talking about that in a minute. And then, of course, we have today's picks and plays. Did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you guys hit that share button yet? I see Tommy actually said he hit the share button. He actually said it right there, so thank you, Tommy, so much. If everybody else, I really appreciate it if you guys would share it as well. Leave me a comment to say hi if you haven't already. You can leave me comments everywhere, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube, and it's the only way I know you're watching. Please share and like as well. And also, hey, don't forget to order my new book, Money Hacks. And if you ordered it, please leave a review. You can go to Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com and order the book, Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. I guarantee you're going to like it. And real quick, a couple of people online. It looks like Rob says he's watching for the first time on LinkedIn. Thank you. We got Charles coming in saying hi. We got Joe coming in saying hi. We got, let's see, we've got James and Rob and Mike and the other Mike and the other Mike. Very cool. All right, so let's go. We got something good. Let's talk about Newsom versus DeSantis. Hey, it's hard to believe that there are still people in this country who are okay with the politics of tyrannical leaders like Gavin Newsom. Newsom actually had the nerve to run ads in Florida to try to convince Floridians to move to California for more freedom. Is he insane? More freedom? The man had the worst COVID restrictions next to New York. He treated his citizens like peasants and continues to tax them to the brink of bankruptcy. If you would watch the parody of the ads, you would actually think the parody was the real ad. I wanted to play the parody of the ad, by the way. If you ever saw this parody, it was hysterical. But guess what? I can't find it. Believe it or not, YouTube doesn't have the parody anywhere. I was able to find other commenters using sections of the ad, but the parody itself is not easy to find. But if you get a chance to find it, it's absolutely hysterical. If you've seen it, it's just great. Well, anyway, the feud between good and evil, right and wrong, continues between Newsom and DeSantis, and now Newsom actually wants to debate DeSantis on national TV. If accepted, I actually think it'll be funnier than the parody ad was. I don't know how any politician like Newsom can continue to convince more than half the people in the state that having a dictator leader is a good idea. If you're a business owner in California and have to deal with the rules set down by this nut, including the new fast food rule that says if you have more than 100 restaurants, you must pay your employees $22 minimum wage, but if you have less than 100 restaurants, it's okay to pay them $15 an hour minimum wage. How is that fair to anyone, including the employees or the restaurant owners? What the heck? Of course, if you do like high taxes and smelly urine and feces smelling streets, go to Los Angeles and live there. The homeless problem is massive, and several of these people have been made homeless by the highest property taxes in the nation. The people can't afford their taxes, so they move out. They can't afford their rent because of the property taxes. In Florida, taxes are some of the lowest in the nations. I want to see the debate mostly because I want to see the craftiness of Newsom and how great he is at convincing people to give their money to him and give their freedom to this shyster. It is unbelievable. How could it possibly be that they think that this is freedom? Freedom is paying the government all your money? I don't think so. And being locked down? I don't think so. All right. Real quick, let's talk about Beyond Meat and noses. You know, it's a slow news day when you find an article like this one to report on. Apparently, Chief Operating Officer of the company Beyond Meat, Doug Ramsey, was arrested this weekend after he allegedly bit a man's nose in Arkansas parking lot after following a college football game. Ramsey allegedly punched through the back windshield of a Subaru after it made contact with the front of Ramsey's car. The Subaru owner then got out of his car and Ramsey allegedly started punching him and bit his nose, ripping the flesh off the tip of the nose, according to the report. The victim and a witness also alleged that Ramsey told the Subaru owner that he would kill him. I don't know. Where should I go here? I mean, should we make a joke about a nose being, well, I don't know, beyond meat? How about a joke about the fact that you can eat too much fake meat, you eventually need real meat? Maybe it's true that a vegan knows better? I don't know. Think about this, though. The guy probably had a really high-paying job after bonuses, etc. He's probably north of $500,000. His road rage probably just cost him this job, and the prospects of getting another job will be rough for him after this incident. On top of that, jail time will be appropriate, and just wait until the victim lawyer finds out about how much this guy is worth. Who knows how much this will cost him? Well, it must have been a hell of a game. I'll bet Ramsey's team lost. Maybe the big snot will learn his lesson from the debacle and take some anger management classes. Who knows? How crazy. All right, let's talk about student loan sensibility. A few weeks ago, when Biden abused his power to forgive the student loan debts for millions of borrowers, you guys got upset with me when I said I was happy for the people who got the money. Yes, some compared it to the PPP loans and low-interest EIDL loans, and this was for the poor guy who went to college and is now a barrister at Starbucks. But the real problem I have with student loans is not the forgiveness, but the predatory nature of the rules of student loans that plague the borrowers, many for their entire lifetime. Now a report from an economist agrees with many of the points I agree with on student loans. So Lawrence Kotikoff, an economist professor at Boston University. The fact that he's at Boston University, he's a professor, and I agree with him, is odd. He's also, however, the president of a financial planning software company. That makes more sense. And he's spent most of his career focused on the intergenerational redistribution of wealth. You could tell a liberal wrote that, right? Kotikoff is saying that what I've been saying for decades. First of all, my message would be, don't borrow money for college to begin with. Period. That's what he said. Anyway, that's what the president should be saying. That's what Kotikoff said the president should be saying. That's what everyone should be saying, and I totally agree. The student loan system is a complete ripoff, and here are some of the changes that Kotikoff suggests, and so do I. First of all, make student loan dischargeable in bankruptcy. It's pure insanity. How could this loan be excluded from bankruptcy when it is probably the reason that the person went bankrupt in the first place? It's not a loan, it's a jail sentence. Here's a great one that I never thought of. Kotikoff suggests set all interest rates to the 10-year Treasury rate. So in other words, if you have a college loan, you set the interest rate to the 10-year Treasury rate. That's brilliant. That means when it's 0%, it's 0%. When it's 1.5%, it's 1.5%. It's 2.25%, I believe, right now. It's brilliant. Why should students have to pay their interest rates marked up to prevailing rates? If the government is going to give student loans, at least make them affordable. And yet another bit of common sense from Kadykov says, limit the maximum amount people could borrow. Limit the maximum amount people can borrow. Borrowing should be limited to an amount that, parents and students can actually pay back. You know, like a regular loan. As I've said many times, the reason college tuition is so high is because of these student loan laws. The college can raise their prices and the government will just keep giving the poor, unsuspecting student loan even if they're burdened for it for the rest of their life. The student loans continues to be the most predatory loan and money grab ever invented. Don't be fooled by the graciousness of the student loan. It's a scam, and it will always be a scam until someone has the balls to change it. Boy, I hope someone does, because it's really bad. All right, let's take a break here. I will see you in a minute. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and one of the most misunderstood things in America is money. That's why I've written this book. It's called Money Hacks. Because everything you think you know about money is wrong. And I'm telling you, everything you think you know about money is wrong. When you read this book, you will learn things about money that you did not know. You will even learn if money can buy you happiness. I have a full chapter dedicated to that. You're going to definitely want to read that. I talk about how to use other people's money to buy real estate. I talk about how to save more money, and I even talk about how to rebuild your credit score in this book. There are 22 amazing chapters in this book. This book is now available everywhere. It's available on Amazon. It's available on BarnesandNoble.com. And you can order this book right now, and you'll have it in 2 days, and you'll start learning things about money that you never knew before. So order the book right now. Go to Amazon, go to BarnesandNoble.com, and order the book, Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse. All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. By the way, if you'd like to be a sponsor of this show, your name and product will be delivered to hundreds of loyal listeners and watchers of the show. As you know, we're expanding our base every day. And if you'd like to get your product or service to my audience and also help keep the show on the air, I'd love to have you as a sponsor. Just reach out via Messenger or just contact me at contactlarry.com, contactlarry.com. By the way, did you know we have a Spotify channel? That's right. You can subscribe to the channel and listen to all the reports. They're broken out for your enjoyment. Just look up Money Chat Now on Spotify and subscribe. So real quick, Ken the Democrat asked a really good question. Can I get a free loan for investor schooling? So I don't know what a free loan is, but you can get a loan for investor schooling. We do have actually financing. So if you want to stop by, Ken, we could talk to you more about that. No problem. Just go to investorschooling.com. And by the way, the first class is free, so it is a free loan. There you go. You can attend the first class for free as a free loan. Go to investorschooling.com, and hopefully I'll get to meet you on Thursday. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand, Ken, because you are a good sport. All right. So far, of course, right now, the market is still down 98. The S&P is down 15, and the NASDAQ is down 62. We talked a little bit about the Ford supply chain and how the cars are starting to come through. We talked about Newsom and DeSantis feud. You got to look up that video. If you could find that video, the video parody that, first of all, Newsom made a video trying to lure people from Florida to California, which is hysterical. But you got to see the parody of it. It's even better. And then you also, of course, we talked about the, how Beyond Meat knows better. And then we talked about student loan sensibility. Coming up, of course, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you guys hit that share button? Tell all your friends about the show. Let them know it's both entertaining and educational. Hit that share button. Come on, Ken. Hit that share button right now. And let people know that you enjoy the show. So, by the way, it looks like the dead zone theory may be proving itself yet again this period. Stocks are mostly settling. Last week we had a huge drop, followed by smaller drops, and the Dow seems to be ranging in the 30,500 to 33,500 range now. If we could hold here for a while, the market will be more predictable. When stocks range like this, they are the best time for stock options, and they should make us all happy. Someone asked me about Meta, actually, just now, and I'm convinced it's a buy, by the way. I think it's a great buy. So Mike asked me about Meta, It's a great buy. The biggest fear I have with it is the fact that it's hovering in its 52-week low. It's always a problem, and sometimes stock at their 52-week low tend to be bad plays. Of course, I like Apple, I like Carnival, I like some of the cruise. Actually, I like all the cruise line stocks right now. They're bouncing, and mostly they're rising. So I did take my advice yesterday and sold the covered calls on my Carnival stock. Now, if I lose the stock at the 15 strike price, I'll be fine because I paid $12.75 for the stock, and my expiration date is in January, and I'm kind of hoping they take the stock. A nice profit would be helpful. It's been a bad year. All right, watch for the market to go nuts tomorrow about 2 o'clock. That's usually when the Fed announces its conclusion on the interest rate. So today I think is going to be affected by the 100 basis point increase from the Bank of Sweden. Wall Street is easily spooked by news like this. They're short-minded and they're short-sighted. All right, let's see what the futures are right now, and let's wait for the Fed report. As I said earlier, the futures were up like 150 points when I woke up this morning. As you guys know, I get here about 4 o'clock in the morning to do this show, to write the show. And the futures were up about 150, and literally as that announcement came by on my screen, I watched the futures drop, and they went negative, and now they're about 103. The S&P is down 16, and NASDAQ is down 66. All right, let's talk about crypto. Crypto, basically, Bitcoin is around 19,000. I'm telling you, this is just bad stuff. Get away from it. Ethereum is about 1350, and if you still have any money in them, I'm telling you, get out. They're going to both drop another 30%. Watch, I told you Bitcoin will be 12, and I told you Ethereum will be about $700 or $800. And that may be the time to buy it. It may not be the time to buy. It's either going to be the time to buy or it's going to be the time that's going to go really bad. Gold and silver are also terrible. Look, they could be buying opportunities. Gold is below 1,700 and silver is about 19 again. It's still a better place than crypto, but it's not that great either. I actually think that this will be the place to be in the future. The Treasury bond right now is about 3.53. And what's going to happen? It's going to be right around the corner, I say, by the end of the year. As we approach the 3.5 mark, of course, whenever we go above the 3.5 mark, the market starts to fall. But 4 is going to be the next benchmark, and it's going to be rough. All right, oil is about $84 a barrel, and the average price of gas is $3.67 a gallon. It dropped another penny, which is pretty good, right? All right, I want to thank you all for watching Money Chat Now. We are live here every morning at 7:30 on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And you can also find repeats of the show on Rumble and Spotify. Hey, make sure you share the show. Make sure you tell your friends about the show. They can watch it anytime during the day, but it's obviously much more fun when it's live because you get to interact and it'll be more fun. My name, of course, is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling. And don't forget, you guys can contact me directly on contactlarry.com. That's contactlarry.com. You can also go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a class this Thursday. It's always fun. It's always great to be there. And so just go there, contactlarry.com, investorschooling.com, and don't forget, make it a profitable day.